Yeah, welcome back. It is still the AM Weekend Show on Afia TV. My name is Divine Onoha, but I am here with my amazing co-host, Ogochukwu. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Happy Valentine.
Happy Valentine.
I can see you're representing.
I had to be on theme. I'm not sure why you're not on theme. What's going on?
Have you come across that video where a man was preaching and he said that this Valentine needs to be
Should be cancelled?
That's my stance.
What's the reason though?
Why should I be part of the Valentine?
Why shouldn't you be part of the Valentine? Don't you want to be loved? Don't you like love?
Let's leave this conversation.
We can't leave it today. It's Valentine.
Let's leave this conversation.
We cannot leave it, please. You need to explain to us, why are you not looking like someone that wants to fall in love or that is probably already in love?
Okay, if you are going to go
deeper, be a single Grinch forever.
If you're going to go deeper into that,
yes.
As a matter of fact, the Valentine you are celebrating now is not the real and the origin of Valentine's Day.
Okay.
So let's not go further.
We'll leave it. Like I said earlier, we're going to have a Valentine's special on this show today. So when the time comes, you will unleash all the things you want to unleash, because I'm not going to give you that space right now. We're just going to take too long. But yeah, going through everything that happened this week, I mean, there's been a lot.
Yeah.
There's been a lot going on in Nigeria, but one that stood out is the protest that happened at NAS. And of course, we saw a lot of people coming out to protest, because I think that there's a lot of tension. There's a lot of anxiety because of the upcoming election. And on Monday in Abuja, hundreds of Nigerians, led by youth groups, civil society, and figures like Peter Obi, stormed the National Assembly of Nigeria in a protest tagged Occupy National Assembly, demanding mandatory real-time electronic transmission of election results directly from polling units to the public portal. The protest was sparked by confusion and outrage after parts of the Electoral Amendment Bill appeared to, sideline real-time transmission, replacing it with a less strict provision. Now, after widespread public pressure, including protests, statements from civil society, and an emergency Senate session, lawmakers amended the bill to include electronic transmission, but with a caveat. And he said, if electronic transmission fails due to network issues, the traditional manual result sheet becomes the source of collation. Now, what started as a demonstration for transparency has now turned into a national debate, on how much voice citizens have in shaping electoral laws and whether protests can reshape Nigeria's democratic path. And, there's just been a lot around it. But I am just curious. After protests and public outcry, the Senate amended the bill to include electronic transmission with a fallback option. Is this a win-win for the citizens? Do you think this is a win-win?
Let me start from one of the questions you asked, where you said, can protests change or, change the structure? I sit down here and I don't want to be pessimistic, but thinking about what we did in 2020 and the outcome, I don't think protests can solve our problems in Nigeria. Now, the second, is it a win-win thing? On papers, I think it is. On paper. The law has been passed and there is a fallback. The fallback, I can't blame them if you're being real, because in so many villages, even here in Enugu, so many villages do not have network. I know places I go for correspondence reports and all of that, there is no signal till you come out to the town. So that, and when you talk about electronic transmission, it can't happen in those places unless we are able to fix the networks around there, which is not something that can happen anytime soon with the way things are going in Nigeria. So, like I said, on papers, I think on papers it sounds good. But we know that on that day of election, at the end of the day, it's still going to be the traditional transmission.
It worries me because now when you talk about network issues in certain villages, which I can also attest to because I've been to a lot of remote villages, but with regards to election, I'm just here thinking, aren't there ways that this thing can be gone about? Can they not? Because I'm seeing, we're still going to talk about the bill that has been proposed for 2027 election. And it is such a huge sum of money. So I'm wondering, can't we figure out this network thing?
We can figure it out if the people on seats really want a credible election. We can solve our problems. We know what the problems are. We can solve them. If the people sitting on that seat or the people vying for these positions will go ahead and do the right thing, if they want free, fair, and credible elections, we can solve our problems. We know exactly what to do. But the thing is that corruption is eating deep, and those people vying for these positions do not want a credible election. Therefore, they will bring in these things to, because if the people do not go ahead to do the protest and all of that, it could have. So they bent to the rules of the people because of the protest. That is why I said it's good on paper. It felt like, okay, we listen to you people, we understand what you're saying. But at the beginning of it, that shouldn't be an option. There shouldn't even be a protest. It shouldn't have been removed. We want a real-time election transmission. So why are you telling us that you cannot? Other countries do it. As you're voting, you're seeing it count. We here, when America had their election, we were here in Afia TV counting the votes with them. It was transmitted. Everybody could see it. But because this is Nigeria and we know how corruption has eaten deep into the fabrics of the nation, this is becoming something we are having a debate on it. People are going out to protest. How?
When I saw that there's been like an adjustment or an amendment to the whole law, it made me worried because it feels generally like we already prepared to do it a certain way. Do you understand?
It now.
First of all,
it doesn't feel like
not making real-time transmission compulsory in the first place is already suspicious. Then we go ahead and protest, and then you say, okay, you adjust it a little with a fallback, and you say that if network issues, if one or two things fail.
Even if we don't add the fallback, the fallback, if you ask me, like I said earlier, it sounds reasonable because we know how our network issues are.
Here's what I'm saying. Now, you put the fallback and you say, if it fails, we go back to manual. Considering the fact that initially you were not even making it compulsory. So it just feels like, okay, because we said something, you just need to put something out there just to calm the whole thing down. And that's why it still doesn't feel like we have won.
Go ahead and do what we did.
It still doesn't feel like we have won.
And they're still going to go ahead and do exactly what they want to do. Whenever, like every time we have these conversations here, I used to say it. I've witnessed 2020 protests. I've also witnessed 2023 elections. The whole court process after the election, the calling of results at midnight when people are sleeping. So all these things, these people already have their plans laid out. So this is just to please people because people made noise. They said, we don't want this. They moved. Okay, let it not be like we're not listening to the people and all of that. They now gave this, it's more like a temporary solution because their map out plan is already there and they're still going to fulfill it.
Honestly,
it is sad that this is how we talk about it, but there's no transparency.
There's no transparency. It feels forced. The whole thing, it feels forced.
At the end of the day, even if the whole thing happens, they're still going to go to the courts and these people are already in their corner.
It feels forced. It feels very sad. And the fact that people came out, and also there's also an aspect that is being looked at. We saw the likes of Peter Obi during the protest, which I feel it's a great thing that he came out, but I'd like to know your opinion because there are people who are suggesting that his impute or he's coming out to protest politicizes the protest a little. What's your thoughts on that?
For me, I don't see it as anything. It does not. First of all, he's a citizen. I mean, this is his right as a citizen to protest against anything he does not like. So I think he's exercising his obligations as a citizen or his rights as a citizen. It does not have anything to do with him politicizing. He's first of all a human. So I don't see it as anything like politicizing. No, it does not have anything to do with that from my own perspective, actually.
I'd say I agree with you because I think that if someone who is in the political system is seeing things this way, is seeing the need for real-time transmission. It's almost like you're also putting yourself at risk. Do you understand? You are ready to be accountable as well. You're ready to be, I wish we had more politicians really come out and say, let's do this thing. Let's ensure that this is a real-time thing. It shows that they are at least willing to be scrutinized, to be brought to book, to be brought to a place where people can really see them for who they really are. I really commend it, and I hope that we see more of that. But beyond all of this, I hope that this election is going to be fruitful and it's going to be something that we expect. I'm trying not to be pessimistic, just as you have said. But of course, fingers crossed, we're still going to talk more about the proposed budget for the election and all that comes with it. But in the meantime, we're just going to go straight to our newspaper review.
On a lighter note, before we go to the newspaper, are you forgetting?
Oh, I almost did. Afia is turning 3. I'm so excited. Afia is turning 3 in 3 days' time. And it's been such an exciting journey so far. Ogochukwu, what has the journey been for you? I have to ask you.
It's personal to an extent because this is where everything started for me. Yeah, this is where everything started for me. It is 4 years for me. And it's 3 years for Afia.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Before we went on air, we've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes. See how much we've grown, how much we've diversified, the plans at the beginning and what we are doing now. Working towards so many things and seeing the ones that work, the ones to remove. So it's been beautiful, and I love that we've grown so much in just 3 years in the Southeast.
Well, I guess mine, I've talked about mine a lot of times. And I remember during our end of year party last year, I also said the same thing. I feel like Afia is just that platform that has given us an opportunity to grow. Looking at you, looking at me, looking at where we started, how we were camera shy. I don't know about you. I was camera shy. You were never camera shy.
I was never camera shy.
Oh, that's so cute.
The only thing I struggled with was reading news. At the beginning, I struggled with it. At that time, Marvelous, if not, they were a little bit higher than me. They were doing it so well. And, that was where I struggled. But being camera shy was never part of it.
Okay, I'm not sure mine was camera shy, to be honest. It's just, I could stand before a camera. But whenever you're doing a show, you are conscious you're doing a show, especially a live show. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God.
It took time to, I mean, another thing
you can be doing so good if it's a recorded show and all that. Yeah. The moment you're conscious that this is, but I've just seen us grow and grow and grow, gather experiences. And I also like the fact that it sort of gives you, I don't know, it earns you some sort of respect in the society.
Yeah, true.
Yes, it feels like what you're doing or what you have to say is very valid and very important. Yeah. And yes, it's beautiful. You were going to say something.
No, you were talking about, being camera shy and being too cautious about live show. I think one of the things that helped me overcome that was my stay in MCR because I had to spend 1 year there. So being behind the scenes, seeing everything, being the one to control the show to a large extent it felt like before I even came back on air or came back to, facing the camera, I already had experience of what's a live show entails, how to go about it. So I think that also helped my growth as well.
But Afia TV is doing such a mighty job. And I really want to give a shout out to our MD.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Mr. Becca. You are an amazing MD. And Afia TV has such a great vision. I saw clips of people giving a shout out and I almost started crying. I almost started tearing up because it hasn't been an easy journey for us here. It hasn't been an easy journey. I don't want to go into all of the details, but it hasn't been an easy journey. But seeing that we're able to still push, and of course, I wish us many more successful years ahead. And of course, we'll see on the anniversary day.
Yeah, we are broadcasting live.
We'll be broadcasting live. Yeah.
So we have a lot of things packed for you on that day. Do not miss any of the broadcasts from 8 a.m. down till I think 10 is the last broadcast.
Till dawn, I think.
Dawn. So we have a lot. Like the last live broadcast is around 10, but there's a lot packed for you. So don't miss our broadcast on Tuesday. Yes, on Tuesday.